Are you a new or returning player coming back into Battlefront 2 in 2025? Well, don't fear, because this is the series for you. Welcome to the How To series, where we break down every hero in Battlefront 2, from the dark side to the light side, from saber heroes to blaster heroes. This is the series for you. We will break down every single hero's star cards, abilities, general kit, and strengths and weaknesses, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Hello ladies with gentle hands, and welcome to the second to last lightsaber hero guide video, where we do the how-to series for every single hero. So far we're doing lightsaber heroes, and we are very close to ending the series. So for all the people that have watched every single guide, thank you so much for sticking through to all of these. I love hearing the suggestions and the appraisals that you guys give in the comments. It's absolutely heartwarming to see. But of course, we need to end the series, and the next video is going to be the final one for this Battlefront 2 guide of how to. Unless you guys want me to continue for these other heroes, like the blaster heroes, Finn, Boba, Bosk, all the other lot. It's just lightsabers are obviously more interesting, so that's why we did them first. But anyway, the second to last lightsaber character, Count Dooku. Let us begin with his abilities. The first being Lightning Stun. Count Dooku releases lightning upon his enemies, throwing them to the ground and inflicting harm. This ability does higher damage the less targets it hits. Lightning Stun is an okay ability. Its range is somewhat lacking, which means that if you want to go in and kill, I don't know, a group of enemies in trooper game modes, it kind of sucks because the range is just bad. Very unlikely that you're going to be hitting multiple enemies anyway, so it's kind of a bit of a wasted ability. Obviously, it does do not a little bit of knockback. It can be great for knocking heroes down, so that you can follow up with a quick few attacks, maybe a jump attack here and there. Very unlikely you're going to be landing this though. If the hero is blocking with their lightsaber, the lightning stun is going to be a bit of a waste. But if you can land the lightning stun ability, you can do a nice quick follow up with it to try and get a bit more damage in there. His middle ability and one of his greatest abilities of the kit, Duelist. Count Dooku changes to a more offensive lightsaber style, performing faster and more powerful attacks. Literally designed for dueling. You get an increase in your attack speed and you do more damage. You can destroy blaster heroes' HP in absolute seconds. That's how much damage it does. And the extra attack speed you get as well. If you're going to get someone who's spamming you with just lightsaber attacks, you will fist them. You will fist them really hard with this middle ability. This can also get buffed with cards, which makes it even stronger. You can make it, I think, last longer or do extra damage, I believe. I'm not sure. We'll talk through the cards. But if this can get buffed even further, it's absolutely nuts. But obviously, do you want to put all your stats into this duelist middle ability? He does have some other cards that are good to have, that can be good for just general gameplay, and it's not related to his abilities, like his health regen, which we'll go on to. It's one of his first cards. Absolutely broken. But if you want to, playing into Duelist is probably a very good choice, because it's what Count Dooku's kit is all about. His Duelist ability is absolutely insane, and it makes him really strong. Finally, his last ability, Expose Weakness. Count Dooku influences his target with slower movement and an increased amount of damage taken from Dooku and his allies, while also removing any extra health. If he sees to the elimination of his target personally, the ability is instantly recharged. Some people might see this ability as lackluster. I understand. Exposed Weakness can be good for getting opponents who are running away to slow down, and that's good for catching up to those particular types of opponents. Those who are on low HP, who are running away, who don't want to engage in the fight, you can use Exposed Weakness on them, and they will have nowhere to run. You will chase them down, and then from then on, it's all about your lightsaber combat. Can you actually get the finishing kill, and so on. Exposed Weakness is absolutely amazing for those particular situations. How good is it in
trooper modes. It's not good. This is a single target ability. You cannot target 30 troopers with this ability, okay? You can only do single target tracking with this, okay? So as far as trooper modes, it's probably not good. This is meant for those one-on-one dueling scenarios. That's kind of what his whole kit is designed for. If I had to give Dooku as a general all-around what his playstyle is, it's for dueling. It's for fighting heroes and trying to kill them as quickly as possible. That's his whole kit. Or trying to chase down people who are running away from him. This is what his whole kit is designed for, and that's why exposed weakness is not great for trooper modes, but it's amazing in hero modes. He can get his ability back if he gets the kill. He uses exposed weakness on someone, then he gets the kill. He will get exposed weakness back, which can be good because exposed weakness generally just slows anyone down. If you slow people down in a fight, that can, give you an opportunity to maybe do a little strike or something in there, which could be a benefit for you. So that is his kit. Now let's move on to his cards, because there's a lot to share and there's a lot of must-have choices, starting with his first and probably the most broken card in the game, his Sith Control card. Count Dooku has increased max health regen. Let me break it down for you, because this card, and paired with just Dooku's general, like without this card, Dooku's health regen is actually broken, but you can make it even more broken with this card. It's unreal. You can go from like 10 HP all the way back to max health. That's how busted this card is. You can lose all your health, whether you're playing aggressive or whatever. Then as you get low on health, block, and then just watch as your health bar goes back to full HP. That's the insane power of this card. I mean, this card is great for pretty much all game modes as well. In trooper modes, when you're getting gunned down by literally everyone, because you're a villain and they see a red lightsaber, they will shoot you. This can help you stay alive, which is a great thing, because that means if you stay alive, you don't have to wait 20 years before you can select Dooku again and try and spend your battle points elsewhere. Once again, this card is super ridiculous. It's probably good to use in literally every single game mode, because health regen is busted and his card just makes him so much more stronger. Finesse. Count Dooku uses his lightsaber with ease, draining less stamina when blocking and attacking. And a 35% reduction in stamina drain is pretty good. Now, you might see this card and think, well, every time I play against Dooku, I always see him just spam his lightsaber attacks, which you kind of do sort of play into, but if you're just spamming your lightsaber attacks, the opponent can sort of just back away or block, and that will leave you with some stamina lost. It's kind of a bit of a waste. As I have said before in my previous guides, if you can get your stamina drain reduced by a card, that's good. It's good to have, because you can block for longer durations, you can throw in more attacks, which is good, but I feel like some people use the card a bit incorrectly and they just spam attacks. Guys, if you are playing against someone who can parry you, this card doesn't give you the option to just blindly swing at people. It depends on your matchup, to be honest. If you're going against someone who's good at parrying, this card won't see too much of a benefit for you, because you're just blindlessly swinging. Yes, your stamina is not getting reduced by much, but that doesn't give you the option to just blindly swing at opponents. That leaves you in the open. You can get you hit with a force push or a force pull, whoever's on the opponent's team. It can leave you open if you just blindlessly swing, so just be careful and keep that in mind. Okay, if you're going against a competent team, just play safe, play defensive, and yeah, this card in general is good to have. As far as hero game modes, it's okay. Depends on the matchup. As far as trooper modes, it's pretty good. If we can block for a longer duration while taking all these blaster hits in, and not to mention that Dooku also gets 3 dodges as well. I forgot to mention, Dooku gets 3 dodges, so that helps him escape the battle a bit more. So he can play a bit like a rat. But this stamina drain reduction is great because he can block for longer durations, so he takes less damage. Paired with his health regen, he can survive for longer in those trooper game modes. It's just his clearing potential is not great, but we'll move on. Blind Spot. Lightning Stun has a larger AoE. Now, when in this context, AoE here does not mean the range is longer. Okay, that might be your first thought. It is simply the angle, right? So the angle, the spread around you is the spread. It's not the range, it's the spread around you. That's probably an easier way of saying it. You get 30. I'm gonna say I think a purple card. I think this means 30 degrees more angle. Is this good? The thing is, lightning stun is kind of ass, to be honest. So I wouldn't really bother putting any resources or cards into lightning stun. I think there's just way better options. Every now and then, lightning stun can be good, but in the general sense, you should be playing into his other two abilities, not his lightning stun. If you do enjoy the ability and you do find it's nice to stun people, I don't know. You could play into it, but I just severely wouldn't recommend it. Plus, if you're trying to hit multiple opponents with the lightning stun, you're not gonna one-shot them because lightning stun deals less damage the more targets you hit. So just keep that in mind. Superiority. Expose weakness is active on an enemy target for a longer time by an increased duration of 2 seconds at a purple card. Exposed weakness is, as I mentioned before, a pretty good ability for those who are running away from you, or if you want to try and slow them down so that you can try and get behind an opponent. This is a good card to have to help buff up exposed weakness, making it last for 2 seconds, though it does seem like a bit of a waste for a card. 2 seconds is not really a lot, especially in a fight. If you just literally count 1, 2, that's it. That's the extra time you get for exposed weakness. Exposed weakness, though, does, to be fair, last a fairly decent while. I'm not sure exactly how much longer or how long it lasts. I'll put it on the screen now. And then with this card, it would give you 2 seconds extra. So this is the new duration amount with this card. To be fair, 2 seconds doesn't seem like a lot. So that's why don't think this is really too strong of a card. So because of that, I don't think this is the best option for exposed weakness. We're going to go on to sooner in the video at the other card for exposed weakness, which is dominance, which we'll go over very soon. But this card doesn't seem to be too great. So there's that. Initiative. Every 15 seconds, Count Dooku's basic attack will be a critical strike, dealing extra damage. This cooldown is reduced by 1 second for every successful lightsaber attack. Ooh, here we go. Every 15 seconds he does, I think he does like a spinny animation. That's his critical hit. Is that going to be the deal breaker for him? He deals 50 extra damage. Well, to be honest, this could be a good card to have if you want to chunk a little bit more HP on trooper modes. You should be guaranteed insta kills, I think, which could be a good thing if you're just trying to snipe out troopers here and there. This could be a good card to have because it will guarantee one shots. I'm not sure if this will one shot heavy troopers, but I think it should. So this can be good for one-on-one trooper modes specifically, like if you're just, like I said, trying to snipe out troopers. In dueling and HVV, how good is this card? Well, the problem is people like to block, and so it's very unlikely you will hit this attack animation on an opponent. But if you can knock them down with lightning stun, or you have a teammate Vader who's choking them, you can get the hit off. Obviously, it depends. If you're playing with your team, this card should be easier to hit, to be fair. In a dueling sense, one-on-one, can this be easy to hit? I would say you would have to play into your lightning stun, probably, because if you're just blindly throwing this attack in, you're not going to get the hit off, right? You need to get the opponent to stop blocking. How do you get them to stop blocking? By landing your lightning stun. Once you land your lightning stun, then you can get this attack in, then you can deal that 50 extra damage, then this card can be pretty useful. So for trooper modes, this can be good. For HVV, this can be good. For dueling, maybe not. Maybe it would depend on the opponent and if you can land your lightning stun to then follow up with this attack animation. Speaking of lightning stun, we have last seconds. Lightning stun has a faster recharge rate. Now, the duration of lightning stun is a bit crazy. It takes a very long time for it to recharge. So I can understand if you're thinking, my lightning stun is taking too long to recharge. This card has to be good. Like I said, lightning stun is not really great for trooper modes, since the more targets you hit, the less damage it deals. Is it good in HVV and dueling? It's like there's like a mixed bag here. In HVV, there may be more opportunities for you to land lightning stun. Therefore, it could be better to spam lightning stun a bit more. So therefore, you could choose to pick this card. In dueling, could you play into lightning stun? Yes, potentially you could. It's sort of a card I did run for a bit because I did see the drawback of the duration of Lightning Stun, which was too long in my opinion. So I did run this card for a bit. Once again, it's not the strongest ability that he has, and I don't think that's the cards you should be playing for to get him to be stronger. I think the next few cards are also going to be a great thing for him, and these are the main abilities that you want to be playing into. You want to play into Duelist and you want to play into Exposed Weakness. So for those particular reasons, I don't think Lightning Stun is a great thing, a great ability to play into. So you shouldn't be really playing too many cards into those particular types of abilities. Masterful Duelist. Count Dooku deals even more damage while Duelist is active. So you get 20 extra damage just by popping Duelist and then hitting your attacks. This is just free damage. You get free damage on your Duelist. This card, pretty good. Duelist is a very nice ability to have. When you pop it, you do extra damage and you have a faster attack animation. You're able to potentially land more lightsaber hits in. Coupled with this, the extra 20 damage you get per lightsaber hit, you'll be able to shred health in an absolute instant. No blaster hero is safe from you, I can say that. So for Blaster Hero specifically, you could probably just spam lightsaber attacks and you can absolutely destroy them because they can't really do much apart from dodge. But when that runs out, they're cooked. So this card generally great for, I'd say, all game modes. Trooper game modes is a really tough one because his kit is not designed for Trooper modes. I'd say if you are playing into Count Dooku and you want to try and master him in these co-op modes, Supremacy, Galactic Assault as well, I think the way you would play Dooku is a bit like a rat. You would go in for one or two troopers, then you would run away and try and get to an area where there's like these stragglers who are running away. Those are the people that you would cut down with Dooku very easily. Dooku should not be played where you run into a group of enemies because his kit is designed to chase down opponents and absolutely shred HP. He's not designed for defense. He's not designed for killing groups of enemies. His playstyle in these trooper modes would be to play like a rat. That's just something to keep in mind about his general ability and his kits. Dominance. Count Dooku's enemy target takes even more damage while exposed weakness is active. Here it says a 20% increased damage. If there are any bugs that are related to any of his cards, I will put them in the beginning of the video or at the end or somewhere along the video. But based on what this is saying right now, it's a 20% in increased damage. The benefits of exposed weakness are very good. Exposed weakness plus duelist, and you can absolutely chunk enemies' HP down in an instant. Let's say you just had these two cards on. You did increased damage with your duelist, then you did even more damage with when the enemy has exposed weakness. They're basically cooked. Their HP can get chunked down in, like, seriously, an instant. If you're playing for raw damage, this is an absolutely busted combo that I would recommend anyone have. On its own, a 20% increased damage is very good. 20% is a big chunk of health. And assuming you're playing into Duelist as well, you're just going to be destroying so much HP. It's like with Dooku, it's being able to pair Duelist, his middle ability, with his right ability, Exposed Weakness, and seeing the benefits of both. By being able to slow down your opponent, then popping your Duelist, getting the faster attack animation, dealing even more damage to them, this is like a cherry on top. Absolutely nuking opponents' HP. This is very good to have. Balanced Duelist. Reduce the recharge time of Duelist. This is a card you could run, and it makes sense theoretically, right? Because I keep glazing the middle ability that he has, Duelist, and I keep saying that it's a really good ability to have always on. You get the extra damage, you get the faster attack animation, and the cooldown kind of renders him a little bit useless, but his Duelist is just such a good ability to have. Therefore, having a reduced cooldown for him is very nice to have because that allows you to pop duelist more. And then literally the benefits I talked about like 20 seconds ago about these two cards here, they just stand out a bit more because they're more consistent. You have duelist active for longer duration. There's no way to actually reduce the cooldown of exposed weakness though, so you can't really gain a consistent benefit with balanced duelist because this only reduces the cooldown for duelist. No cards actually reduce the cooldown of exposed weakness. So if you're trying to combo exposed weakness with duelist, there will be times where you won't be able to do both. So just keep that in mind if you are running this card. But I understand running this card extremely well. You get a reduced recharge rate. You can pop duelist a bit more. All the benefits we just talked about duelist are there. So this is a great card to have. And now we approach what is the best cards for HVV and dueling. I'm just going to put the no-brainer on, Sith Control, 100%. This is an amazing card. If you are someone who struggles with stamina, Finesse would be an option for you. And then either one of these three cards, I think for most people, I think you have a good variety of options of these last three cards. If you like playing into Duelist, and you like popping the ability, go for Masterful Duelist, or Balanced Duelist. If you like going into Exposed Weakness, you think the 20% extra damage is really good to have, Dominance is going to be your choice there. However, if you are someone who can manage stamina, like you have 20 years in this game, you have all the experience, whatever, then you can get rid of Finesse, and then you can play into either Masterful Duelist or Balanced Duelist. Initiative is very likely inconsistent in dueling because the opponent's just going to be blocking. Unless you can get a lightning stun in and then hit them, fair's fine. You can probably use initiative maybe. I don't think these other cards, to be honest, are great. We don't care about lightning stun. This 2-second duration is nothing. Either Balanced Duelist or Masterful Duelist for those who can manage stamina. Civ Control is a must-have in every single game mode. Okay, and for the Trooper modes in co-op, in Supremacy, Galactic Assault, what are we doing here? Well, the playstyle that I mentioned on how you play Dooku is a bit like a rat. You run in, kill one opponent or two, and then run away. The Civ Control allows him to stay alive. That's why we're running this card. Finesse, I understand. And maybe Initiative. This is a bit of a tough one because his Lightning Stun sucks. His Exposed Weakness is not good for Trooper modes because it's only on a single target. It's not on... You can't target multiple groups. So that's why you don't want to play into Exposed Weakness. So there's 4 cards that are generally trash. Is Duelist a good card to play into? Or is Duelist a good ability to play into, sorry. I don't think it's worth playing into Duelist for Trooper modes because you should be shredding health very fast. So you don't need to have this extra damage from Masterful Duelist, or you don't need to have Dominance because you should be generally shredding Troopers very quickly. Once you pop Duelist, you already do extra damage and you have a very fast attack animation. All you need is 2 lightsaber hits and you've killed someone. I could see an argument for Balanced Duelist, because that allows you to one-shot more consistently. If you feel like the 15-second crit damage that you get for Initiative is just too long, I understand that argument. The reason why I'm saying Finesse is a good card to have is because it allows us to block for longer duration. If we're getting shot at and we don't have dodges available, we've spent all our charges, we can hold block and we can take a decent beating before we dodge away and then run. Which is why I think Finesse, Sith Control, and either Balanced Duelist or Initiative, depending on your play, would be the choices there for Trooper modes. And that has been his showcase on his kit and abilities.